Ciao, welcome back to Geriatric Alpha Run Productions. I am your host, GARP, here on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of them. And I'm here with my guest, Joe, and we're going to now talk part 3 of our interview today, and we're going to talk about ethnicity. I love to talk about ethnicity with people because I am an ethnic guy. I am 100% Italian, which is kind of a rare thing in this day and age to actually have 100% nationality. But this one isn't about me. Let's talk about you. First thing I got to ask is the last name like Sanchez,
Yes,
and you mentioned that you're Asian
yes.
from the Philippines.
Born and raised in the Philippines. Well, the Philippines was colonized by the Spaniards from the Philippines. So when they invaded the Philippines, a way to control the natives, they used religion. They changed everybody's name.
Oh,
So that's why I have a Mexican sounding
that's
last
so
name.
confusing. I know. It's just like, wow. Okay.
But originally, the Philippines was called Las Islas Filipinas because there's 7,107 islands in the Philippines. Low tide changes, high tide. But before colonization, Philippines were hunters and gatherers, and they were called the native ones. Like they had a lot of tattoos. It was when you accomplish something, when you win a fight or something, you get tagged out.
Okay. Well, I mean, gosh, I don't want to take us down the route left field, but like Filipino martial arts are a whole thing, right?
Filipino martial arts, I have never learned them. Unfortunately, I know it's never too late to learn, but there's Kali, there's Arnis. I know of them, but I grew up not.
It's much more weapon based.
It's more hand-to-hand combat based, and then like weapons like the stick, the bamboo stick, and then knife fighting.
Wow.
A lot of fighting.
Wow. That's good. You know, like there's so much knife violence in Europe right now, and I'm just thinking like I hate nothing more than blood. Like it looks the way to be attacked by a knife.
Because it's easy to conceal.
It's horrible. Yeah. So you lived in the Philippines until you were how old?
Moved 26.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I feel really stupid saying this, but what language do they speak in the Philippines?
We have a lot of dialects, depends on the region you're from. But mostly Tagalog. It's our base.
So it's like a Filipino language.
It's a Filipino language.
Oh.
But we also speak English. Like if you're a foreigner visiting Philippines for the first time, almost everybody will be speaking English. We speak English in school 90% of the time. I probably had 2 minor Filipino subjects that I struggled with because I couldn't understand Filipino. It's ironic, but also we've been colonized by America and Japan.
So what languages do you speak?
I speak English and Tagalog, okay? Not Spanish. A lot of our Tagalog words were trickled down from Spanish. Yes.
Are you teaching that to your daughter?
She understands because I speak to her in Tagalog. She knows some words, and she's been in the Philippines.
It's so interesting how like times have changed. Because I've told this story probably numerous times. My parents were brought up in immigrant Italian homes in the 50s, and they were intentionally told not to speak Italian. Their parents could speak Italian to each other, but they wanted to use and speak English.
So they can assimilate.
Right. And it's like, just again, the difference in the way the world was, because it would just seem almost like be depriving your child of that multiple languages, and you want to kind of pass that down to them. It's such a privilege to be able to be bilingual.
I think it is, but you also, I think, trying to understand where they're coming from. If you're a first generation immigrant, right? You want to be able to fit in. So you won't want to stand out. And that they were at that point in their life probably where they just want to have a smooth transition, and then if you, like most of my cousins grew up here, born and raised here, understands very well. Even though probably my aunts and uncles try, it's just maybe they didn't try hard enough, or it's just too tedious for them. But I think it's different for me now, since I have my own kid. Sometimes she doesn't want to respond in Tagalog, and it's like it's too long. Like the response is too long. It's like, okay, well, how are you going to enjoy communicating with people when you go back and visit if you cannot understand that? I don't want you to expect that everybody's going to speak English. Like, when we go to a different country, I don't want you to expect that they will adjust for you. Because I'm okay.
You speak English growing up then?
We would speak English in school, but at home we speak Tagalog.
And so you mentioned you came here in the 26th?
Yeah.
Okay, so what brought you here? Were you nursing?
Yes. And my parents are here. My parents are in California.
Ah. We're all from California. What part of California are you from?
Riverside.
Okay, I grew up in Laguna Beach, California.
Oh,
North County.
okay.
Yeah, well, it's funny because in the 70s, you didn't have to be rich to live in Laguna Beach. Like, I mean, it was still normal people living in Laguna. Now, in this day and age, if you live in a Laguna zip code, it's like a multi-million-dollar
Very
house.
expensive.
Yeah, and it's like, when I grew up there, it wasn't like that. Now, I was 50 years ago, so everything changes. So when you came here, then you were well into being an adult. Did you find that America was open arms, or have you ever experienced racism?
I'd like to think yes, and I'd like to say yes and no in different circumstances. Like I was very fortunate enough to be able to move to New York City, which I think is a great melting pot for all the immigrants. I miss it every day, food and just the people and just. But I think I find it entertaining now when people ask me, "Oh, you speak English so well," when they find out where I grew up. And I don't hear an accent. Yeah, you speak English in 4 minutes. But I guess it's not a common knowledge, so that's all right. But some little hints of racism here and there, but I just brush it off because it doesn't really matter.
I love hearing you say that. Why is it that like I care? I'm 100% Italian, right? I do care. It's who I am. I have pride in it. I do have my own like personal favorites for Italian. Like I'll root for the Italian guy when I hear his name is got an Italian name. I'll root for him to be like my people. So why is there no name that could ever rile me up to a point where I would feel damaged by a racial slur? You know what I mean? I kind of went into this with Arash and Yepi that we were having an ethnicity conversation. Like, is there even an ethnic slur towards Filipino people? Because I wouldn't even know, like, how to racially slur a Filipino person.
I've heard a couple of creative ones, and I think it's just more out of ignorance. It's coming out of ignorance, and you just don't know how to act appropriately as a human being. Because I've had interactions with people who ask me where I'm from and surprised at my English accent, or lack thereof, or Filipino accent, or whatever. And then something will follow, like, "Oh, we had a housemate. Who's Filipino." I was like, "Oh, cool. Do you know her?" No, I don't. The Philippines is a very big country. We have 7,000. I've never been to all of them. I've probably been to less than 20. But something like that, a lot of, you must be a nurse. You're Filipino. I said, yes, we mass produce nurses. Like, I don't see that as a slur or something derogatory or anything. But it's just, I'm brown, I'm people of color, I'm a minority, and that's okay.
That's interesting to think of yourself as a minority. I guess, like, do you have to check? Do you check Pacific Islander, or was there a was it Filipino?
I do Asian. Sometimes there's, it's not there all the time.
Is there any sort of a competitive or I don't want to say a prejudice though against Asians, like say Japanese, like because I know like Japanese and Chinese people do not like to be the same with one another. So is there and like for that matter, I know like Jamaicans and like American black people don't like to be associated with one another. And like for me being Italian, like I just know from being Italian that like in Italy they're prejudiced against each other.
Yes.
Like if you're from the South, you're the low class Italians. You know what I mean? Like oh, the Calabrese, the low class Italian. And it's like okay, see, like it just doesn't resonate with me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because my parents were that last generation where that racism ingrained in them. Like my dad, who's no longer with us, but he literally said yes. If somebody called me a dago bastard, I'd be offended. I was like, oh, what? Somebody called me a dago bastard. I'd literally laugh. That you even know what that is. You know what I mean? It's like there's no racial slur that could ever like get me to a place of being upset. But I mean, that's a whole other thing. So with our current landscape, I guess I really don't want to like go towards politics or anything like that, but you were mentioning New York and stuff like that, and it being a melting pot. Certainly, that's where my grandparents came through. Ellis Island. It's a place for. Oh yeah, like we had trips and gone there and done the crayon on the wall, all that stuff. But so big news in New York over the last day. Yeah, got elected, and so I mean, whether you agree or you disagree, we're gonna see the experiment. We're gonna see now what happens with this because I mean, is this guy gonna be the special one to make socialism work? Because it hasn't worked in other places, so. Maybe he's going to do it. I mean, I'm anxious to watch and see. And
I'm curious to see too because I have a lot of friends who are still in the city, and we've had several conversations and discussions, and we can have different points of view to politics, just like everything in life, and it's still.
That's great. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, even with my family, it's been tough. My family have a lot of differing opinions about stuff, and politics and religion really are those two subjects that will.
I was raised in a very religious household with this family. Okay. So as Filipinos too, we are just. I didn't go trick or treating. They brought trick or treating. What we did on the day of the dance, we were praying.
So have you stated about your religion or?
I think I'm more open now. But there's also learning more about Philippine history as I was growing up. Spaniards really used religion as a form of control, so that makes you question a lot of things.
Well, we've already had our 15 minutes, but we're going to go ahead and just go right into like on this term because it's like a good conversation. So let's stick with it. Religion is kind of like a little bit of a hot subject in the sense that with all this UAP and UFO quote unquote disclosure going on and stuff, have you followed any of that? Because
I've seen some. I don't watch a lot of. I don't watch TV, so I read a lot of stuff of like news-wise.
I think religion is a lot of the reason that so much stuff is being withheld because religion is so based in these theories, and if there's certain disclosures, it's going to really affect how religion is viewed. I think it's going to be an interesting 5 years, though, coming here. A lot of technology things happening and stuff. so I can't drag you down that rabbit hole. You're not taking the bait. And Steve didn't really take the bait with me on that too well either. All right. What else we got to talk about? How about parenting now? We definitely have our little kids. How old is it okay that we talk about your daughter?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So you have a
She's 4.5. She likes to say 4.5. She'll be 5 soon. She'll be 5 early next year. I call her Izzy.
And Izzy joins us at class sometimes at noon. She'll come with mom and she's watching Ninja Mom do her stuff. 4.5, so I assume that you're going to start to get her involved in the kids program at some point.
Yes, that's the goal. Hopefully after she's 5. She just started preschool, and she's loving it. She will always tell me, you have to go to school every day. It's school every day. She was ready for a really long time. It was me who was not ready to let her go. And because they're only little this point.
Oh, I know. It's so true.
I'm only this cool at this point of her life. When she starts, hanging out with her friends, there will be a point that I know organically will happen. That there will be a phase in her life that I'm not. That's okay.
Right.
We'll go back to. I'll be cool again. But I have a preschooler, and she will be. It's not a question if she would like to do jujitsu or not. It's she will do it. I'm just a little hesitant. I just want her to, because she knows everybody in our school. Like, I want her to get used to the teacher-student dynamic first, which is what she's learning in school. So that when she shows up to class, I think I'd be like, I'd prep her enough that, oh, Professor Yeti will be your Professor Yeti. Coach Arash.
Take direction.
They're not going to entangle your necklace, right?
That's such a perfect analogy or thing that a small child would do. They say that in parenting, the days are long, but the years are short. And over time, that it really comes true to me. Because my son now being 10, and it just seemed like yesterday he was Izzy's age, and it's just like those years do end so quick, and you gotta cherish them while you can. Because before you know it, all the innocence is gone, and we're really in 4th grade now, worrying about what's cool and what the image is and what we're giving off. And, oh my gosh.
Like the vibe you're giving.
Yeah, and just what's cool and what's not cool, and don't talk to me, and all these other things that you're dealing with. So, all right. Well, listen, I have really enjoyed our conversation today. I hope that maybe in a couple of years, if I can continue doing this, we'll come back and we'll have another video.
Yes, thank you for having me.
If you've liked our conversation today, please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.
Thank you.